Hey, my mate, thanks for the message and the feedback. And glad you found something there on Saturday, especially with the drive, it sounds like. Seems like the drive is important to you. So we must obviously keep working on that. But now I've isolated this 100 to 150. That's cool. That's where we'll focus our energy this week. So what are we talking about now? We're talking about sort of gap wedge to 8 iron, somewhere in that range, those irons, right? Now, being a little bit above the plane with those clubs should not create a huge issue. Okay, so we're not too worried about the plane for this week. I mean, obviously with your driver you are, but not with these clubs. So now we're talking about the circle. We're talking about the low point. So we're talking about the circle from this perspective now. Okay, so where this low point is, how consistent it is, okay, is the very important part of this area of the game, these clubs, right? And we kind of want that low point just a little bit ahead of the golf ball. Okay, but not in a steep, sort of punchy downward action. Okay, just within the movement. Okay, just within the movement, we want to be able to have that low point about an inch or two, depending on your speed and angle of attack, about an inch or two in front. So how do we get it? Because we start with it always behind. Okay, so how do we get it forward consistently just in front of that and not compromise the strike by throwing our arms down? Okay, that's kind of what we're looking at, right? So it's kind of, two main things for you. Okay, I guess knowledge and feel is one of them. Okay, but obviously we know that sometimes that setup goes with the shoulders, so now your low point control is going to be very, very difficult. Okay, and then something we've kind of sort of touched on in the beginning, we isolated, sort of touched on, and then kind of work on in a different way. Okay, but it's to do with the lag, so it's to do with the softness in the hands. Okay, so one of the things we isolated in the very beginning was that a little bit hard in the hands and quite wide and early on the release. Okay, so now wide and early on in the release with these short clubs, okay, is no good. Okay, we want to be releasing, we want to be having quite a lot of lag coming in, okay, and releasing, okay, almost after the ball has gone in a way. Okay, that's kind of how we do it. All right, so we just got to learn that. So definitely check the setup. Okay, make sure everything's nice and level. All right. Okay, and then we're going to do what's called release point drill. Okay, so maybe just do a little warm-up, okay, with your wedges. All right, we will start looking at your wedges, so now we're talking less than 100 yards. But just do a little warm-up with your wedges. Get everything really nice and neat, maybe 2 club heads apart, ball very, very centered. Okay, and I want you to make a little L shape. Okay, so just turn and create a little L shape here, so quite a lot of hand action, yeah? All right, and then turn through and then recreate the L shape there. Just do a few warm-ups like that. L, L. Obviously hold the bat and strike the ball nicely. Okay, everything nice and good. Check your setup. All right, none of this. Okay, check your setup. Hand action with the L. And finish and balance. Okay, so do a few of those to warm up. That'll help. Okay, and then we're going to get into release point drill. Okay, so release point drill. Okay, what we're doing is we're actually starting the club in the place that we want to release it. Okay, so we're going to start at about 2.5 foot in front. All right, we started here, so similar to opposite direction drill, but now we're focusing on returning the club within the movement to that release. So we're taking ownership of what this right hand is doing. Okay, that's the movement pattern we asked for. Right, so obviously start off slowly. Okay, nice setup, shoulders level. Okay, we're going to start out there. Okay, we're going to take ownership of this right hand and try and release it back in front of the golf ball. Okay. All right, and then you can sort of add length and speed as you go. Okay, so let's do a little bit of release point drill. Okay, obviously some videos are going to help. And you've got to take control of the setup and obviously any movement. So if you move off laterally, it's going to be very hard to get back and ahead. Okay? Then I want you to do a few knockdowns. Okay, so let me stay there. Okay, so once you've kind of done a few release point drills, 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how you feel. Okay, going completely on feel there and strike. Okay, not max distance or anything like that. We're going to do knockdown drill. Okay, so let's just assume for now that you've got your yardages, say gap wedge 100 to 110, pitching wedge 115 to 125, so on and so forth. Okay, take for now, let's take 10 off for now. Okay, and what we're going to do yeah, 3/4 to fullish swings. You can kind of go with feel as you go. But we're going to try and knock these down. Right. Now, when we knock them down, okay, we're trying to flight them down without getting steep. Okay? And we're trying to cut out the speed that's added with the release of the shaft. So when you release the shaft, you add this club head really kicks. Okay, and the ball speed goes up, so the carry distance goes up. So we're trying to take that. So we're going to flight this thing way, way down and take the release out. Okay, so what we're going to do, so we're not changing the angle of attack in terms of steepness or anything like that. What we're going to do is go just back of center. Okay, keep the shoulders level, none of this. Keep the handle forward. Okay, all right, we're going to sort of catch it on the way down, and then we're going to hold the release off. You can see I've still got the right hand. We get low ones and we get some that sort of drift out to the right a little bit. Okay, it'll make sense later. Right, but you have to catch the ball on the way down without getting steep. Okay, kind of just almost like slightly trappy on the way down. Okay, so now we're talking about the low point being a good 3 to 4 inches ahead of the golf ball. Okay, keep moving and hold that release off. Okay, nice little knockdown shot. Okay, so start off with 3/4, just back of center. I'm not leaning or anything, everything's neutral. Okay. Okay. Nice big swing, really knocked that one down. Okay, but that's still the idea. That's fine. If you overdo it, that's absolutely fine for now. Okay. Maybe my ball position was too far back. All right. There we go. There's a nice little knockdown. Nice flight on that. Okay, so a couple of knockdown ones. All right, and then go back to normal. All right, so we want to then chat about how those felt, what the strike was like, what the flight was like. Okay, and most importantly, okay, start to figure out what your low point is. Where is your divot starting? Okay, is it starting at the ball, behind the ball, or in front of the ball? Okay, obviously with knockdowns, it's going to start way ahead of the ball. It actually will feel a bit rubbish, to be honest. I don't really like knockdowns. And with release point draw, they should be sort of shorter shots, but they should feel quite nice if you get it correct. All right, and then when you get into normal swings, let's figure out where is your low point. Is it consistent? Okay, can you control it? Can you alter it when you want to? Okay, and what is it doing to the strike and the flight of the gap wedge, pitching wedge 998 time? Okay, because that's where we focus. Okay, right, so do a little bit of that. Let me know if you need anything. There's your drills, whatever. Okay, and then we'll chat later in the week. All right. Thank you, my mate. Chat to you later.